when it comes to Keir Starmer suggesting that British young men, and maybe some women too, should be in Ukraine, that we should have British boots on the ground, I say no, no, no. And actually, I now look at this man and see the most dangerous Prime Minister since Neville Chamberlain, which is a big thing to say, given that we're obviously dealing with the heir to Tony Blair as well. Huge reaction to this interview in the Daily Telegraph, or column, this written column where Starmer made this proposal overnight. From Katie Hopkins, "Dear Keir Starmer, twat spangle, you want boots on the ground in Ukraine? Feel free to conscript every single illegal you've been flesh trading in the UK for pounds. They are well fed in fancy hotels and pretty handy with knives. Leave our British lads alone." And watch what she had to say about that.
First up, Trump tried to seek a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia by speaking to the adults in the room, namely Putin. Of course, Zelensky doesn't want peace because his BlackRock masters want him to keep pushing to join NATO because then they can keep laundering the money. So now Keir Starmer says he's going to put boots on the ground over in Ukraine. Well, I hope you're not looking at British patriots to be doing that, Sir Keir Starmer. I mean, why not use some of those illegals you've been bringing over and putting in hotels? I hear some of them are pretty handy with a knife. In other news, J.D. Vance turns up at the Munich Security Conference and tells them there's no such thing as democracy in Western Europe, there's no freedom of speech in Western Europe, there's no rule of law. So the chairman stood up and started crying because J.D. Vance was mean and said hurty words. Herr Flick from Germany was really pissed off, but of course we've just cancelled the Romanian elections, they've cancelled local elections in the UK, you can be arrested for a Facebook post over in Germany, and Tommy Robinson is still in solitary confinement, so they don't really have much of an argument.
No, they don't. They don't. I mean, democracy is dying. But in terms of the troops that Starmer wants to deploy, here's exactly what he said. The UK is ready to play a leading role in accelerating the work on security guarantees for Ukraine. This includes further support for Ukraine's military, where the UK has already committed £3 billion a year until at least 2030. But it also means being ready and willing to contribute to security guarantees to Ukraine by putting our own troops on the ground if necessary. Starmer said, "I do not say that lightly. I feel very deeply the responsibility that comes with potentially putting British servicemen and women in harm's way. But any role in helping to guarantee Ukraine's security is helping to guarantee the security of our continent and the security of this country. The end of this war, when it comes, cannot merely become a temporary pause before Putin's attacks again."